Hi everyone, and welcome to week 26 of my pregnancy update shenanigans. I am showing you our Christmas tree because it is now December, and where the hell has that come from? And I also just wanted to take a moment to truly enjoy the lights that we have. It's a bit of a running joke in this house this Christmas about the lights, because I usually like traditional white kind of, you know, the kind of golden white Christmassy twinkly lights, and yeah, the other half went out and bought white lights and multicoloured lights that go like that. So it's got buttons on it that you can press to kind of make them more constant and stop all the flashing. But there's like on each, there's obviously two sets of lights, and each one has a button. And yeah, I'd have to go through each time I switch the lights on. I have to kind of press through to try and find the constant setting, and it's just too much of a hassle. And to be honest, it's mismatched colourful glory has just rubbed off on me, and now actually I kind of it's so awful that I love it, if that makes sense. It's so bad that it's good. So yeah, that's our Christmas tree this year. Slightly digressed. I know this is meant to be about pregnancy, but you can't exactly ignore that in the background, can you? So yeah, that's pretty much been the highlight of the week. Has been putting up the Christmas tree and the whole kind of light situation. It cheered me up actually, because this week's been really hard. I have started to get really bad pain in my pelvis, and I had it when I was pregnant with Teddy first time round. I had really bad pain to kind of towards the end, that started in like the early 30s sort of region of weeks, but this time it's happened earlier, and it's been really painful. I've been walking really strangely. I just look like a duck. I look like a duck that has constipation, and it's just really embarrassing. And little things that I take for granted, like getting out of bed or walking up the stairs, or excuse the lights. It's like Blackpool. Yeah, no, little things like that, or getting out of the car, putting my shoes on. It's just become really painful. So I saw the midwife this week on Wednesday, and she's told me to ring up the hospital and go in and get measured up for this kind of belt harness support thing. I've looked it up online, it looks hilarious. I'm a bit scared, to be honest, but if it helps with the pain, then I'm all for it. So I've got to do that. I'm just laughing at the sheer hilarity of this week. Actually, it's just been one thing after another. We have been in pain with that. That was it. The stretch marks that I noticed last week in the same area where they're forming, it feels like my skin is kind of tearing. It's just gotten really tight, and at certain points this week I've just had to sit down because I've been paranoid that my tummy is literally just going to tear in half, which I know it won't, and I know that's extremely dramatic, but that's what it feels like, and it's actually really painful. So I've had that as well, and then kind of to continue the tummy theme, my brother-in-law got rushed in to hospital up in Croydon with a hernia, so we kind of zipped up there on Wednesday, and you know, we were kind of there to support him and stuff. So he's going to have abdominal surgery, and it's quite funny because we were both kind of in the same sort of boat with uncomfortable tummies for different reasons, so I could completely and utterly relate to what he was going through. Maybe he can come and get measured up for a belt at the hospital as well to support things. But it's just been one of those weeks, really. Nothing else to report other than that. Just yeah, pelvic pain and tummy stretching, and lots of kicking. He's quite active in there still. Oh, and that's it as well. I think I've blocked it out, but I shouldn't really. I've got to face it. The midwife measured my bump, and my bump is now measuring over what it should be by a couple of centimetres, which isn't anything to worry about. I mean, it's actually quite common, and you know, it's not unheard of at all. But the same thing happened with Teddy first time round, and you know, he came 5 weeks early and was £8.5. So I'm just a little bit panicked. I make big babies and I'm just preparing myself for the eventuality that I'm going to have a big baby again. He feels big. In the past couple of weeks, he just feels different where he is, and I can just tell that he's quite big. I don't know if that's paranoia or just trying to prepare myself for what's ahead, but I really wouldn't be surprised if he turned out to be big as well. Especially because they say that as you go on each pregnancy, your babies traditionally get bigger each time. So yeah, I'm just I'm just steeling myself for the job that's ahead. Especially because I can still, because that's the thing, when you have them close together, you can so remember everything. You just remember everything that you went through the first time, and it plays on your mind for everything that's coming up with the second. And I know pregnancies are different each time. I know that, you know, you can't predict what's going to happen really, but I can only go off of what I've had before, and yeah, just trust myself and what my body's doing. But you know, if I do keep having really small words with him and just saying, look, if you could just try and not grow too much, that would be great. Just, you know, just bring it back a notch. You know, you don't have to be monster baby, you know. But I know I've got absolutely no control over it, and that's the whole thing. You've just, when you're pregnant, you've just got to embrace the fact that everything is up to fate, really. You've got absolutely no control. I know they like to give you an idea that you are in control with things, like, you know, they let you do a birthing plan and things like that, but actually you're not. You're at the mercy of your body and nature, and I just have to keep reminding myself of that and just try and go with the flow. So I've still got a while left. We've got Christmas. I can still say that it's next year, not this year. And we've got lots and lots of fun stuff planned. I'm doing Vlogmas as well, which is where, if any of you don't know what that is, it's where I kind of put a post up on my blog every day. So I'm going to be doing that as something fun and Christmassy to focus on, and it's a really good way of kind of making me do things that are Christmassy as well, get me in the festive spirit. I'm ever so sorry if these lights are causing anyone to have a headache. It's really it's not my fault, it's the other half. The other half's fault. He went and got them, it wasn't me. Anyway, I am gonna go. My dinner's in the oven and I probably need to rescue it before it gets burnt. So I will see you next week for week 27. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.